Whoa. Hey. What are you guys all doing out here? Just looking around? What am I doing out here? Well, I'm getting a little bit of green space. I went back to a full-on work week here this past week, and it's a lot of indoor work, and it's a lot of moving, and it's a lot of sitting, and I'm tired. Need a little bit of green space here. So, anyway, here's what's up. Recently, I participated in the Japan Vinyl 2024 contest put on by Brian at Tokyo Record Style, and I really had a good time making that video. I put a lot of effort in to try to put a very broad selection from my collection in there. And Brian was, his response was just beyond anything I ever would have imagined anyone responding. He left me a lot of comments on the actual video, telling me how much he enjoyed it, how he had watched again and again. He made a video short about his tag, and he talked about me in that short and telling about my video. And then he shared my video and he put in links to all of the songs or all of the albums I talked about. Then he did a live podcast thing, and during his podcast he mentioned my video again. So wow, I'm blown away. Thank you so much, Brian. But here's the thing, there have been some more contests coming up, and I just simply don't have the time to do anything about them. And I was even thinking, just to be facetious, I might start my own contest, a contest, where everybody has to make a contest, and then I'll choose which contest I think is the best one. But actually no, a couple of different ideas came together. So one of them is that I guess I've been subscribing to a lot of different people in the vinyl community over the last year and a half or so, and I found out that I'm subscribed to a few dozen people at least who are just in the vinyl community. And by that I mean people who are usually sitting at home and just talking about records in their collection. So this doesn't include like Sea of Tranquility, Grant's Rock Warehouse, Daydream Nation, where they have guests on and they talk for over an hour about a discography or something. These are just videos, you know, you sit at home, you make a 5, 10 minute, 20-minute video. And I watch a lot of these, and a lot of them, sometimes I'm watching them, especially during the tags and contests. It's a really good way to see somebody's collection, get to know about them in a few minutes. And I notice sometimes I watch the whole video and think, wow, I actually didn't know any of the artists in that video. Or it might be that I knew of them, but none of them are in my collection, and I'm not really sure that I'm interested in them. And at the same time, like I said, I'm subscribed to so many people. So often I see the same people's videos coming up, and if I start watching certain people's videos, then other people's videos don't come up. Like Morten Astad, I watched several of his videos before. I haven't seen him coming up recently. So here's what I decided to do. I recently also did a video, this kind of random grab, where I pulled out different boxes and then I grabbed out albums randomly, and I had to try to match what I grabbed with some criteria. I made a list of 10 criteria, so it was kind of like a tag and a random grab. So here's what I decided to do. I went through all of my, all those channels I'm sub to in the vinyl community. I listed them all on paper, I cut them out, and I put them in a little envelope. And my plan was, last night when I got home from work, was to introduce this video idea, reach into the envelope, and pull out people's names. And the first 10 that I pulled out, I would watch their most recent video. And if they included an album that I have in my collection in their video, I would introduce that album. Now, it's only one per video, so if someone shows 3 albums I have, I'm only going to talk about the first one that they pull up that I have. So that's going to be my next random grab, watching what other people are showing in their videos. If I have it, I will show it. However, I forgot the envelope at work. So what I did was today, I sat down at my computer with a piece of paper and a pen, and I decided I'm going to just write down some random numbers, so like 1, 5, 3, 7, 6, whatever. And then I would look at my subscription list and see, okay, so number 1 is this person, and then go to like a number 3, I have to count 3 VC channels down. Of course, there were lots of other channels I'm sub to that have nothing to do with the vinyl community, but just go down and pick, okay, here's the 3rd one down, that's this person. Next number is 7, okay, go 7 VC channels down, and that's the next one. And I am going to watch the most recent video from all those 10 channels, and if they show an album that I have, I will introduce it in a video, and I get a point. For each video that has an album that I have, I get a point. So let's see how many points I can get. One little thing, because my whole plan for doing this got all kind of mixed up. I think the mosquitoes are eating my legs right now. I actually already started watching the first 3 videos, and there are 2 albums out of the 3. So already out of the first 3 videos, I have 2 points. So I will be presenting that video. Well, I guess I'm just gonna tag it onto this one here. So just keep watching, okay? I gotta look around, get some green space in my eyes, and then I gotta go shopping. So stick around, I'll be right back, as far as you're concerned. All right, thanks. Well, all right, everyone, I am back at home again, and I have checked over the 10 latest videos on each of the randomly selected 10 channels. Now, just in case you're wondering, yeah, so I just went to my list of subscribers. No, wait a minute. I went to the list of channels I'm subbed to on my laptop, which was actually in a different order than when I checked the app on my phone. I don't know why. On my laptop, it was alphabetically. On my phone, it seems somewhat random. Anyway, and I just started off with the number 1, so whatever was the first one, which would have been the top of the alphabetized list, that was going to be the first YouTube channel I would check, and after that I just wrote down 7, 3, 5, 4, 2, 6, 3, 7, 4. So I just went down, like after checking video number 1, I went down 7 VC channels on my subscribed channels list. And the 7th one, actually, who was? Okay, let's just get on with this here. The first one was actually 3 Dimensions of Music. So I took a look at his latest video, and he was doing a video for JT's Record Room's latest contest, where you have to show 3 album covers that have some food on them. Unfortunately for my scoring system, none of the albums he showed in his video were any of the ones that I had, although one of them is a band that I have in my collection. I just didn't have that album. But anyway, I'm sure a lot of you have participated in this contest, because I have already seen probably close to a dozen videos of people entering JT's Record Room 3,000 subscribers contest. So, of course, I'm going to leave a link to all of the videos that I watched in the description. I will also put in time markers for each of them. So, like, if you get tagged and you wonder, oh gee, what is this guy talking about? What is he saying about my video? You don't have to watch this video from the beginning. You can just go into the description, see where your video is mentioned, hit the time code, and it will jump you straight to that. So anyway, the first video, video number 1, 3 Dimensions of Music. No match, so 0 points for me so far. However, the second one was Bobby Gaylor, and I'm really glad that this was totally random too, because if he hadn't just come up in the random selection, I was going to put him in. Bobby Gaylor just started his channel. At the time that I checked his video, he had only 2 videos out so far. However, he has been lurking in the online, the YouTube vinyl community, watching lots of videos and commenting. So he, at the time I checked, he was already up to 94 subscribers. And I think part of it is that his very first video was the summer vinyl tag for 2024. So that's probably a big help. He's made his name known out there in the vinyl community, watching other people's videos and commenting, and then he did his summer vinyl tag, so I think that was a good start for him. After that, he did one other video where he is introducing a band from the 70s, which I'd never heard of. However, some of the members from that band went on to very prominent status in other bands. So he's got 2 videos out so far. He's working on a 3rd one, and he's planning to keep this up. I really like his presentation style too. He's one of those people who speaks very clearly and enthusiastically and knows what he's talking about, which is probably pretty much almost everybody out there. But anyway, he's cool, so check out Bobby Gaylor. And for his summer vinyl tag, the first album that he showed that I have in my collection is the Queensryche EP, which I think goes back to 1984. Now, I was in 8th grade when this album came out. I don't remember how I heard about it, but I got it and I loved it. And we had to write, in my 8th grade English class, we had to write some kind of short essay about any topic we wanted. I think it was probably at the beginning of the year in September of '84. So yeah. So I wrote why I thought Queensryche was such a great band. And of course, the Queen of the Reich song is just such an awesome song. Later, I watched an air band contest on television, and one band came on fully decked out with real guitars and real like 1984 style metal look and everything, and they did an excellent air band cover to that song. So yeah, there we go. 1 point for me out of 2 so far. And you can watch Bobby Gaylor's video for his vinyl tag, summer vinyl tag. Of course, I'll put the link in the description, so please do check him out. And hey, sub him. He's going to be an interesting person. Judging by his summer vinyl tag, he's going to have a good variety of stuff to check out. So, let's see here. The next down the list was Catherine S. I was actually rather happy about this because I like Catherine's channel. I like her presentation style as well. She sits you down, I think it's just in her, I don't know, it's a living room or a kitchen, whatever, but she sits you down and she tells you about 3 albums. And she will tell you when they were released, what their chart positions were, what singles were released, what the chart positions of each of those singles were, who was behind the album, who were the personnel, the producer, or who were the members of the band, who were the new members, who wrote what songs. She gives you all that background information. She does 3 albums in one video, and usually in about 10 minutes, so it's just a great little music lesson. Now, I wanted, for my little blind grab thing here, I wanted to watch everyone's latest video, but I actually have already seen Catherine's two latest videos. So I went to the 3rd one back, where she's talking about 3 albums from 1981, I believe it is. And I believe it is that because the very first album she talked about, as is shown in her thumbnail, was Journey's Escape. So I had this on cassette way back in the day. I think I got into Journey just before Raised on Radio came out. So I had 4 or 5 Journey albums on cassette back then. I even actually had a Journey poster that I got from a record store. Where is that poster? Do I still have it? I might still have it, actually. I have a lot of my posters, like the actual big official posters from the 80s. I probably have it somewhere. Anyway, yeah. So it was a Journey poster for Raised on Radio, so only 3 members in the picture. But yeah, she talks about Escape, and of course the big album for Journey. You know the hits, Open Arms, Don't Stop Believin'. I think Stone in Love was also released as a single. And what's the other one? Don't Stop, Who's Crying Now? Yeah, that's right. I think I first actually heard Who's Crying Now, Don't Stop Believin', and Open Arms before I got this. And Open Arms was on the Rock 82 compilation album I got, which was my first rock album I ever owned on cassette. So yeah, that's 3 channels. Catherine S. Do check her out if you are not already subscribed. Great 10-minute lesson on 3 albums. The second album she mentioned in her video I also have. And in a way, I would have preferred to talk about that one because it's a little bit more of an unusual album for my collection. But I'm going with the first album people mention in their videos that I have in my collection. So that was the first one. Okay, moving along, next down the line was 8 Vinyl Low. So I recently subscribed to her. I think I saw her through the summer vinyl tag, and I really liked her presentation style. She's a young lady, but she really knows what she's talking about. She's into music from the late 70s, it seems, probably also some 60s and early 80s. I think I know a lot of the artists she talks about, but so far I don't believe I have a lot of them, or very many, if any at all, in my collection. But you know, it was a chance, and it was a chance to watch one of her videos again. But 8 Vinyl Low, her video is about the Princeton Record Exchange, a visit to the Princeton Record Exchange with a group of people known as the youngest members of the VC. So we're talking about a bunch of quite young adults. I'm guessing in their 20s, if not in their late teens. I don't know who they all are. And they went to this big record shop called the Princeton Record Exchange, and she talks about what she bought there. None of the albums were albums I have in my collection, but it was interesting to hear her talk. Particularly, I noticed she mentioned Ian Hunter, and I actually had no idea who Ian Hunter was until Steve at All the World's a Stage was talking about how great he is. And recently I've heard more and more people talking about him. And she mentioned that he is now 85 years old and he recently released an album. Like, wow. Plus the album she talked about, he had lots of guests on too, famous guests. So that was really cool. And then she also talks about a box set that she got that she really wanted, and she got it for a good price. So if you want to know what that's all about and the Princeton Record Exchange and all that, do check out 8 Vinyl Lows channel and that video. The link to that video is in the description. Moving along, I got to see Glen Kellaway from the basement. And you know what? Glen is in a new basement. Yeah, he switched basements, which just goes to show you can take the boy out of the basement, but he's going to go right back into another one again. So yeah, Glen Kellaway from the basement, and he's talking about, it's his first video in his new basement, and he's talking about what albums he listened to in his first week. I think pretty much everything was vinyl because he had a devil of a time hooking up his new CD player. He'll tell you all about it if you watch his video. But he was mentioning different stuff and some bluegrass and some banjo, and I thought, not likely he's going to mention anything I know. And then he mentioned, yes, Close to the Edge. So, thanks Glen, I got another point thanks to you talking about Yes, Close to the Edge. And of course, probably almost everybody's favorite Yes album. Certainly it's mine, although I do love a lot of Yes albums and songs. But yeah, this is shoe-in for the winner. Okay, so that's Glen Kellaway from the basement, from his new basement. Do check out his new basement with him. So next up down the line actually was Jason Arsenault. However, Jason hasn't put out a new video for some 3 months. And I think I watched his last 2 videos. So I actually had to go back 6 months to see a video of his that I haven't watched yet. And I thought, that's kind of a stretch here. I'm looking for like really recent videos. So sorry, Jason, but I skipped to, I think it was, you were number 2. So that means it was 2 down from Glen Kellaway. And so I decided to just go 1 down, 1 up, 1 down, 1 up until I hit a VC channel. And it was Alex at Beer and Vinyl. Hello, Alex. And he was talking about, as well as, he starts off sharing a beer. Is it a lager? A roasted blonde, burned blonde colored. Anyway, it looks good. It inspired me to buy a kind of beer-like beverage anyway from the supermarket, a very cheap one. I normally don't drink it, but hey, I felt like it after watching him pour that. So anyway, he talked about some of the albums that he's picked up recently, some for really low prices, like $1. And yeah, as he was going on, one of the first albums he mentioned, okay, so this is the slipcase cover version, but you'll probably know it, it's Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here. So he picked up a copy of that, a 1980 copy for $1, and actually the disc inside was in very good condition. So another great classic album. I think there's not a lot to be said about this that hasn't already been said. On the back of this disc here, we have unreleased tracks, some live recordings, as well as track 4 is on this, it's disc 2, Wine Glasses from Household Objects Project. So Pink Floyd decided to do this album of music created by household objects. How prog is that? And they gave it up eventually, but some of their ideas got used in recordings. I think the cash register thing from Money was probably inspired by that. And by making these, you know, running your finger around a wetted edge of a wine glass, that gave them the idea for making the opening synthesizer chords for the song Shine On You Crazy Diamond. So that's pretty cool. Wish You Were Here with Stephanie Grappelli. Yeah, so actually, yeah, the version I have, I think it is the James Guthrie and Joe Plant remastering version, and disc 1 is the actual album, and disc 2 is a whole bunch of live and other stuff. So yeah, thanks to Alex at Beer and Vinyl, I get a point for Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here. Thanks, Alex. Okay, moving down the line then. Yeah, Mega Jeff's Hard Rock Vinyl. So Jeff likes a lot of 80s metal stuff. There's always one in the crowd, isn't there, making a comment. You need the door open, right? Right, so Mega Jeff's Rock Hard Vinyl, I thought I'd probably have a good chance with Jeff because, you know, he's into a lot of 80s hard rock and metal, and, you know, that was the time I grew up, and as a teen I was into a lot of that stuff too. Still do love a lot of it. So he was doing JT's Record Room's 3,000 subscribers baking contest. Baking contest? Cooking contest? No. The contest where you have to show 3 albums with food on the cover. We already did one of those further down the line here, right? So yeah, there was a good chance something would come up that I know, and indeed there was. So he showed Iron Maiden's Peace of Mind album, and the reason being was because on the gatefold of his vinyl copy, there was a photo of the band sitting at a table. My CD copy has the band live here, and then there is a CD, a picture CD with a brain on it. And in the actual photo that he showed, the band is sitting at a table with a plate of, with a brain and grapes and broccoli, it looks like, and corn and potato. Well, this one has potatoes, beans, broccoli, corn, cauliflower, carrots. Actually, looks pretty good, actually. Yeah. So, when somebody said they wanted brains, yeah, or brain food, that's what they got. And Eddie got a lobotomy. Full lobotomy. I don't know, is that what a full lobotomy, when you just take the whole thing out? Whatever. Mega Jeff's Hard Rock Vinyl. I got 5 points now, thanks to you, for showing Iron Maiden's Peace of Mind. Rock Hard Vinyl. Did I say Rock Hard Vinyl? I hope I did.
So hey, I was just editing the video here, and then I realized I totally skipped Mike's Got the Spins. He was supposed to come in just before Physical Format Rock and Roll. So Mike's Got the Spins, he was doing a video about fantastic females. I thought I might have a pretty good chance with that, because I was really into female artists a little bit earlier this year, picking up a lot of new stuff. And yeah, he talked about Lita Ford, who I used to have on cassette in the 1980s. Talked about Joan Jett, who I don't have any of her albums. Nina Strauss, don't have anything by her either. So yeah, unfortunately, all the artists he talked about, I actually didn't have any of their albums on CD now. So I didn't get any points there. But I have to say, you gotta watch Mike's Got the Spins. You've gotta see his channel, because he tells a story about how he got a Lita Ford guitar pick, which I thought was really, really cool and different. So yeah, do also check out Mike's Got the Spins. Link to his video in the description below. Okay, back to the regular video viewing format.
So, moving on down the line then. Next one on the list after the random number pick went to Physical Format Rock and Roll with Gary. Now, Gary's got a lot of stuff that I'm interested in as well. However, his latest video was talking about some VCLT he got from Steve at All the World's a Stage. And although I know the artist, he kind of already sort of little bit got mentioned in here, not by name but by band. I don't have that album. I do have another album that he did with Ronja Stolt of the Flower Kings, but I don't have this latest one here, so no points for me on that. And then the final one was Robert's On My Turntable. Now, I recently subscribed to Robert because he does a lot of Canadian content, so I'm always eager to hear about that. And in one video, he talked about a band called the Arkells. I've never heard about, so I'll be checking them out. But on this latest video of his that I watched, he's talking about an album by Neil Young, a live album called Young Shakespeare. And unfortunately for me, as far as point earnings goes, I don't have any Neil Young. Oh, surprise, surprise. Yeah, I know. I just don't have any Neil Young. So, out of this blind grab, I had 5 albums out of 10 channels. So I got 5 points out of a total possibility of 10. So, just to explain the game one more time, the idea is to randomly select 10 YouTube channels I'm subscribed to, channels in the vinyl community. Videos like this, people sitting at home talking about their records, not these, you know, bigger channels with guests and panels and people discussing the 1970s, ranking the best albums of the heavy bands of the 70s, or ranking Pink Floyd or whatever. Not those ones, just regular folk like us. So yeah, pick 10 of those, watch their most recent video, and the first album that they talk about that I have in my collection is what I show in my video. Links to all of those 10 channel videos in the description, as I keep saying. Check them out, and thank you very much for watching today. And I am going to try to do this again, because as I said, I prepared a nice little envelope with everybody's channel names cut out on pieces of paper, and then I left it at work. So I'll do this again sometime. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you in another video soon. Bye.